Light Studios. This is ESPN 95.3.
These guys are awesome, baby. You can have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
All right, it is a Tuesday. We are moving along early in this week, and we welcome you inside our ESPN Arkansas studios for another edition of Halftime. I'm Phil Elson. A little frog in the throat at the start of the show today. Matt Smackdown Jenkins and Matty T in studios. 877-377-6963 is the number to get with us today. We continue with our week of legendary broadcasters. Arkansas's own Chuck Barrett joins us at 1:30, the voice of the Razorbacks for football and men's basketball, and also carrying the duties of hosting the Arkansas One road shows, the virtual road shows, which I believe continue tonight. So it'll be a lot of fun to talk with Chuck about that. We had Eli Gold, the longtime voice of Alabama football, on yesterday, and Bill Hillgrove, who has called Pitt basketball and football since the early 70s and the Steelers since 1994, will be joining us on Thursday. And we're still working up a couple of other longtime sports broadcasters that we'd like to find a way to get on the show throughout this week. I enjoyed the talk with Eli yesterday. I usually bump into Chuck Barrett here and there at the Batch Pad in Fayetteville whenever the chance arises. It's been a couple of months, though, and I think we're all looking forward to catching up with the voice of the Razorbacks. I know you are too, Smackdown.
Absolutely. He's a voice synonymous with Arkansas sports, much like yourself, just synonymous with basketball and football season. And with everything going on, I mean, football's not that far around the corner from if we were in a normal situation right now, spring practices would be getting close to being underway, hopefully, or getting summer practices and fall ball getting started. So it'll be good to hear from Chuck and make sure he's doing all right and safe down where he is, and get his thoughts on here. And we've been doing legendary broadcasters all week, and he's as legendary as it gets for the state of Arkansas.
I agree. So, I mean, you feel a little bit better about the idea of Arkansas playing a football season thanks to the information coming out from Notre Dame yesterday. I found it pretty interesting that Notre Dame is going a little bit of a different plan with their fall semester than what we saw from some of the other schools. Yesterday was a pretty big day for schools to announce, or at least a few schools to announce, because those were the first times that we really started hearing about real plans for next semester. Again, whether or not those plans actually follow through, who knows? The next couple of months will have a lot to do as to whether or not that happens. But South Carolina, if I remember, was the first to release their plans yesterday morning, doing away with the fall break and then returning in-person classes to virtual classes once Thanksgiving comes around. And I think Marquette, Creighton came out with the same sort of plans. Notre Dame's a little bit different. They're going to start their semester, as I understand it, 2 or 3 weeks earlier than they would have, totally do away with the fall break, and then the semester would end by Thanksgiving. So, and if we're looking at the football aspect of it here, if you believe the idea that you got to have students or some students on campus and visiting in-person classes to have football, well, of course, Arkansas visits Notre Dame the second week of the season. So at least for us in this region where I think all of us feel pretty confident that there will be an SEC season. What time it starts, when it'll happen, where the games will be played, if it's only conference games, who knows? That's all up in the air. But I think it's really good to see right now a member of the college football playoff, which is what Notre Dame is, the only independent school that is a member of that of this organization, announcing that they will have in-person classes once football season rolls around.
I think you're going to start seeing a lot more colleges make their decisions known and kind of announce kind of what they want to do. And I think one key thing, maybe not necessarily with Notre Dame, but the other schools you mentioned, like South Carolina, I'm sure Arkansas would do the same thing. Typically, I mean, the fall break's about a week, and then normally, or at least when I was in school, when you got back from fall break and maybe even Thanksgiving break, because it seems like when I was in school, it was fall break, you went for 2-3 more weeks, and then you're on Thanksgiving break for the holiday. That may be the same thing that they're referring to, because in high school it was different. Anyway, when you come back off of fall break, you only have like 2 weeks of classes left before, but you have normally it's about a week, and they normally call it Hell Week, and then you get into finals week. They could get away with probably doing virtual stuff and then do a virtual final exam, kind of like they probably did this time around. I think you'll see a lot of schools go that route, eliminate the fall break, and try to get as much schooling as they can in before winter rolls around, when theoretically a lot of people think we could maybe have a second wave of this, and try to get at least a fall session in and then deal with it as it gets here.
So assuming that a lot of other schools are already developing these plans, Arkansas at some point is going to come out with something, within the next couple of weeks, not to put them on any sort of notice, but I mean, if classes are going to begin in any fashion, in the last week of August, well, people are going to have to be able to make their plans, or at least know what your plans are, as long as the curve stays flattened or starts dropping, and if we can get out a little bit more and open things up a little bit. So I know that the SEC will be making their votes on Friday as to when to allow student athletes back on campus. That's a league-wide thing. But these, I'm not even sure exactly who's doing the votes for some of these. I heard the guys in the Morning Rush kicking that around today. I would assume the chancellors of each universities are the ones that be making the votes with, a lot of advisors on hand to let them know their thoughts.
Absolutely.
Maybe this is a window into, this vote on Friday is a window into the possibly chancellor's thoughts about bringing students back on campus in the fall. Not even just the student athletes, but everybody, or at least some semblance of the student body returning to campus to have some semblance of a normal college experience.
It'll be a big day Friday for sure.
It is a weird what is a weird thing in this in the sports universe right now. And we brought this up yesterday with that soccer team in Korea that was placing sex dolls in the stands instead of mannequins.
Yeah.
I guess those are a little bit cheaper than the mannequins, maybe, because it's a as I understand, these dolls get blown up. The mannequins are, a little more dense, not as much air, so there's more material. I think mannequins probably cost more than the sex dolls. That's why the Korean soccer team went in that direction. But then there's a whole other aspect of what is going on in Germany in the Bundesliga, where you saw the placards, even in some of the Korean games and the Chinese Taipei baseball games. They've got fan placards in the stands. Have you looked at these?
I'm pulling this up right now.
Well, I mean, so a placard doesn't move. It's an inanimate object. So whatever position it's in when the thing is sat at its seat and given a fake Coca-Cola or something in the first inning, that's the same position they'll be at, and the Coca-Cola will still be all the way full by the time the ninth inning rolls around. So fans can actually buy a placard in their own image and likeness so that you can see yourself in the stands during the game.
Interesting.
And if this is the direction that we're going in the United States, if we're going to have no real human fans in the stands, and you're probably going to see the first few rows in every stadium covered by tarps with large advertisements on it. That's how you're going to make up some of this money. Past those large advertisements are going to be people frozen in place. They'll all be like Han Solo, frozen in carbonite for 4 quarters, never moving again. You better be very careful and think a lot about the position that you're going to have your body in when you buy yourself a placard that's going to stand there for 4 hours without moving, because that's going to pretty much be people's understanding of what you look like and who you are. So what sort of pose are you going to have if you get a fan placard, SmackDown? Are you going to go full surrender Cobra? Are you going to go, I thought maybe getting 4 people standing next to each other, each, one with a Y, one with an M, one with a C, one with an A. Thought that might work well.
Oh,
get,
man.
5 people sitting next to each other in various stages of hog calls.
Oh, that'd be good.
You got to be creative about this because fans are one of the reasons why there is a home court advantage. There's no doubt about that. So if you're going to have your placards in the stands, these better be some smart aleck placards. You better know how to talk some trash without even being able to move your lips. Just time to be creative, sports fans, so get on it.
Just make mine flipping somebody off.
I have a feeling they won't let that one in.
Oh well, darn.
That's probably the thing.
Put a shirt on mine. Yeah, put a shirt on mine and I'll raise my shirt up.
That gets your placard ejected from the stadium, SmackDown. Led out of the ballpark by its ears. 877-377-6963. We're right back.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Seth Greenberg, college basketball analyst for ESPN.
Finding that balance has been important. I think he found that balance, and I'm going to say it again, I joke with him. Danielle's given him great balance, because Musk never had that balance maybe when he was an NBA coach. They're as good a team, a husband-wife team, as there is in college basketball.
Don't miss The Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Need to see a doctor but you're concerned about going? River Valley Primary Care is now seeing patients at all 10 clinics by video and phone visits. See a doctor today who can diagnose your condition and prescribe medication if needed. These visits are now covered by most insurance plans. River Valley Primary Care in Ratcliffe, Mountainburg, Mulberry, Clarksville, Lavaca, Lamar, Waldron, and 3 locations in Fort Smith. Call 479-431-2050 or go online to rvpcs.org. See a doctor today by video or phone with River Valley Primary Care.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. It's a difficult time right now, and social distancing is vitally important. That's why I'm here to encourage you to keep running. It's a great way to exercise in solitude, build up your immune system, and keep from going stir-crazy. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips on how to take care of yourself during this time. And remember, just keep running. This has been brought to you by True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Folks, we at Mosquito Joe understand how important your yard is. It's where some of your best memories are made with your family. It's where you play catch with your kids or grandkids. It's where you have your friends over for those backyard barbecues. You don't have to keep letting mosquitoes crash the party. There's a solution for that now. Mosquito Joe protects your yard so you can focus on what's important. Call Mosquito Joe today. Get your first service for just $39. 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960. Or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Spring is here, and it's time to get outdoors. Just arrived at Jelco Outdoors. New spring footwear by Solomon, sandals by Aerosol, Keen, Sanuk, and the largest selection of work and safety footwear for men and women in the River Valley. Jelco Outdoors, serving the River Valley with quality footwear since 1983. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
1-2 pitch. Open swings. Hard shot. Through the right side. Base hit. Washington to third. He gets the green light. And the throw. Not in time. Hogs win. The Razorbacks finish the sweep of Missouri. And that's how you do a Sunday at Baum Stadium. Moving along on this Tuesday on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. It's halftime. Phil Elson, Matty T, Matt Smackdown Jenkins. 877-377-6963, the numbers. Justin, thinking that Major League Baseball might save on foul and home run balls because fans don't get souvenirs if there aren't fans in the stands. You got to think about this, though. I think they're going to use more baseballs because of the new regulations, which the game is trying to get through by basically throwing out any ball that's been in use. I know they say it said any ball that's handled by multiple players on any play is going to be thrown out. So
that's every play.
It's just about every play. So I think they're going to be sanitizing every ball between innings, and where in some cases some foul balls that end up going back into the dugouts, they can go back and play. It's the end of that. So Rawlings Company, they're going to be making money on baseballs. Well, probably not as much as they would have because you're playing at the best half the games that you would have played. Oh, Andy in Mount Home texting.
Why did you say that, Andy?
Why would you do that, Andy? He reminds us that we should be in Hoover right now, though hopefully not playing today. Today would have been day one of the SEC baseball tournament in Hoover, and it would have been the single elimination round to move to the double elimination round. So this is not the day you want to play, nor has Arkansas had to play in the first day since 2015. So it's been a while.
But you'd still be in Hoover right now.
Oh, you bet your bottom dollar I would. I'd be eating all that free food. I would have stuffed my mouth with 15 pieces of Hyatt bacon in the morning and would have strategically placed out moments to be at the ballpark to get more free food, and pretty much wouldn't have spent a dime all day long. While eating like a king and watching great baseball games. It would have been great. Thank you so much, Andy. I hate you right now.
So if you get depressed during the show, we can blame Andy for this.
I quit. I'm not. You guys take over for this. Andy ruined the whole day for everyone. For everyone.
Oh, man.
Oh, well. All right, we got some Razor. No, I don't really hate you, Andy. I'm just being sarcastic. I hope you understand. If you listen to the show, it's
You're sarcastic?
Can anybody really yet tell the times that I'm sarcastic and not? I feel like I've got to be better at being a little bit different between serious and sarcasm. Can you tell the difference?
Oh, yeah, I can tell the difference.
Okay, good. Maybe Andy can too. I really do love you, Andy, because you texted us.
That was sarcastic. No,
that's right. 877-377-6963. Saw this list put out by Athlon where Sam Pittman is ranked as the 14th best hire for college football for the 2020 season. The only reason they've got him so low is because he's never been a head coach at the major football college level, or he's never been a coordinator. I think that's the only reason why.
I think it'd be higher if he wasn't in the SEC West, too. It'd probably be higher than that, but no, you're 100% right.
Yeah, but I mean, look at some of the other coaches that are on this list. I don't have any. I mean, Mike Norvell picked as the top hire, potentially so. Then go to Lane Kiffin, the second best hire at Ole Miss. I mean, that's in the SEC West, obviously. Nick Rolovich at Washington State, Mike Leach at Mississippi State. It's been an interesting couple of months for Leach. It's been 50 days since he tweeted. Here's a coordinator. Here's Jimmy Lake, who was the co-defensive coordinator for Chris Peterson at Washington. Never been a head coach. Ranked as the 5th best head coach hire of the offseason. Dave Aranda is 7th. I think Aranda might be a better head coach hire than Lane Kiffin, to be quite honest. It's just he's never been a head coach before. This guy has basically had his choice of the jobs for the last couple of years. Jeff Hatley, who was a defensive coordinator at Ohio State, picked as the 8th best hire. He's the new Boston College head coach. Boston College is no great shakes. Kalen DeBoer, a better hire than Sam Pittman. DeBoer's the head coach at Fresno, was the offensive coordinator at Indiana. They've got Jeff Scott listed ahead of Pittman. He's the new head coach at South Florida, came from Clemson as a co-offensive coordinator. This, to me, and you wonder sometimes about how you – I hate putting lists together of this best and that best because it's really difficult sometimes to delineate one better head coach hire from another. But I think in this case, the simple reason, the only reason, and it's also part of the understanding for a lot of people across the country as to Pittman's hire at Arkansas, that he has not been a head coach, unless you're talking JUCO, and he's not been a coordinator. That's the only reason why.
I think an interesting thing, you're right, and it all plays into it. But I think for me, where I find peace in this is if everything was normal, expectations are low. Because imagine if he was number one, he was the best hire we ever got, and then like almost say Mike Norvell, for example. You think he's expected to go into Florida State and win right now? Or does he have time to build and time to do his own thing? Or a Lane Kiffin or Rolovich, like you're talking about at Washington State.
Well, what I'm seeing here, when you look at Mike Norvell, I can see that Athlon is thinking, well, here's somebody that took a previously moribund football program at Memphis and raised it to a level that nobody thought it could be. And turned down this job and that job. Some people think he's a genius offensively, and I think that's probably one reason why he gets thrown at that point. And I think Sam Pittman probably is better than the 14th best hire for head coach in college football. But Athlon's got to put a list together, yeah. And I think I've got a little idea as to their process as to why Pittman is 14th. But still, they've got Pittman ahead of guys that have been head coaches before, like Todd Graham at Hawaii and Willie Taggart at FAU, Brady Hoke. So it's not like they've necessarily insulted him. I just don't think they know much about him other than the fact that he's a great offensive line coach and a great coordinator, a great recruiter who's not been a head coach for a long, long, long time.
And that's 100% fair. I mean, that's like you said, it's no knock against Sam Pittman. It's just the way it is. I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, maybe he's high on the list. I mean, for a candidate that has no head coaching experience, and he's ahead of some notable, I say notable very loosely, but notable names. So, hopefully it'll turn out well for him. I think, and the one thing, and we've mentioned this too, I would argue out of every coach listed here, he wanted that job. You think Todd Graham really wanted to go to – I mean, I'm sure he did want to go to Hawaii because who wouldn't?
Being a head coach in Hawaii sounds like fun.
But you see my point, though. Like, he left a really good position at Georgia, offensive line coach. He's older. Who knows? I mean, I'm not saying he's close to retiring, but that's got to be in the back of his mind.
I think the desire that he has to be the head coach at Arkansas means a lot more to people at Arkansas and the players that he's going to have here than it does to somebody putting a list together at Aspen.
That's fair.
I don't think they really thought about that very much. By the way, the graduate transfers just continue to invade the Arkansas baseball team now. Another one announced he is signing to play his final season of college baseball at Arkansas. He's the fourth graduate transfer to announce that he's going to finish his career under Dave Van Horn. This is A.J. Lewis, a catcher out of Eastern Kentucky. And now that's two graduate transfers that have announced coming to Arkansas in the last, 5 days? The other was Robert Emery.
Yeah.
Both were teammates briefly in the Cape Cod League. I think one of these two is going to end up playing first base at some point next year. Now, we are, as of now, all of us, everybody, and I think Dave Van Horn and his coaching staff also are operating under the thought that Casey Opitz is getting drafted in the 5-round draft. If he doesn't, if I was Casey, I wouldn't sign for $20,000 just to go as a free agent. I'd come back because next year's draft should be longer than 5 rounds, and he'll go in the draft and still have a year of leverage. So what if Casey Opitz comes back? But that's not the way that you can operate right now. He's good enough to go in the 5-round draft. Got to plan ahead. Kason Tollett is one of the two catchers that might get some time next year. But he was hurt for the shortened season this year, so they didn't get a chance to look at him very much. I have a feeling that one of these two catchers, either Emery or Lewis, will do the catching, and the other will be at first base next season. I know Matt Goodhart, who, I think he still has issues with the shoulder, the throwing arm. I'm not sure if that'll ever quite be quite the same again. So I have a feeling Goodhart will remain as the DH. I think you'll see one of these transfers end up as the first baseman. And then you got two pitchers that transferred that they hope to battle for a spot as a starter. But you could see Lale Lockhart or Isaac Bracken in the bullpen. You got a big-time JUCO slugger, Brady Slavens, who's going to be in the lineup every day, and another early enrollee in Dylan Leach. So the roster gets larger, and that makes fall ball just that much more, I think, it'll be impressive with the kind of competition they'll have.
You think
Rivals?
You think that plays into Casey Opitz coming back? Because, I mean, that's a lot of talent that's going to be on that team next year, and we're a ways away from that. But, I mean –
if Casey Opitz comes back, it's his position.
I hear you on that. I'm not saying that. I just mean all the talent that's on that team. You can make some noise next season.
Well, Arkansas could make some noise next season, but you got to remember, I mean, there are a lot of other teams even in their own division that are in exactly the same boat. You know, I mean, this roster crunch isn't just affecting Arkansas. It's affecting everybody in the SEC. And now, I mean, Furman yesterday was the second Division I school to drop their baseball program. You're going to see more baseball teams probably get dropped. It's going to release more players into the pool of college baseball. There will be fewer teams, but it will be a better game overall. And the practices and the fall scrimmages are going to be ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous for the level of play. Probably never seen anything like it in college baseball, to be honest. All right, we got more Razorback news, but first, coming up next, Nikki Chabanel, our friend from Rivals, to talk some Arkansas football and basketball recruiting. If you got any questions for Nikki, text him in at 877-377-6963. Chuck Barrett coming up in about an hour, and it is a fine Tuesday across the natural states. Stay tuned.
Knockouts Haircuts for Men is coming to Fort Smith. It's such a big deal, we brought in a real ring announcer to set the scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, armed with scissors, a pair of clippers, and if you're lucky, a smile, it's that same old hair place that takes your money and sends you on your way. But in this corner, Knockouts Haircuts for Men, where you get the best haircut of your life from one of the Knockout Girls, a cold beer if you want it, and sports on every TV in the building.
Knockouts Haircuts for Men, opening soon in Fort Smith.
Art's Barbecue and Burgers is still open, taking care of the community and keeping you safe. Art's Barbecue and Burgers at 8203 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith is taking care of their customers in the drive-thru, curbside pickup, or use the Waiter app and have it brought to you. Call 452-2550 and Art's will have your order ready. That's 452-2550. Eat local at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling. Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every
Was your
time.
roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Matt Jones rolling out of the bootleg. Takes. He's at midfield. He's at the 40. He's at the 30 of Texas. The 20. The 10. Matt Jones is out of bounds at the half-yard line. Oh, my. What an incredible play call. And Jones, racing downfield, was finally pushed out of bounds after a 60-yard run.
Nikki Chabanel, our fabulous guest every Tuesday around this time, managing editor, reporter at Rivals, covering all things Arkansas athletics. Before we get into the sports, though, Nikki, I think, if I remember correctly, it looks like you and the significant other have settled on a place to move to finally after a lengthy search. Well done.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We move in 2 weeks. I'm happy to have something to do right now. This is the perfect time to move, in my opinion.
That's well said. We're all looking for something to do. I never realized that moving would actually be looked at as an activity to cure boredom, because I hate moving. I mean, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, not normally, but now.
Exactly. So, since we spoke last, we had you on last Tuesday. It was Wednesday last week that the NCAA pushed the dead period for recruiting through the end of June. Now, they did this just for Division I. I saw where Division II is able to get back to, I guess, in-person recruiting. My guess why there's a split between Division I and Division II is strictly travel. Like the Division II coaches, Division II schools don't travel quite as far as Division I. Otherwise, can you give me a reason why the NCAA would say yes to Division II, no to Division I?
I actually hadn't seen that about Division II, but yeah, for Division I, there is just so much more travel, and the kids come from all different parts of the country to come see these programs. So you can't quarantine someone for 2 weeks if they're just coming to visit a program, like if they're coming from New York. And I know that's not where a ton of recruits come from, but like, who's to say that, kids from this area can't go on visits, but kids from this area can? I think it has to be more of a universal thing, because then you definitely disadvantage some programs over others.
Okay. Well, and one thing I know that the extending the dead period does, and most of the schools already had canceled their camps, but that pretty much did in the summer camps completely. So and you have more of a dead period in July anyway. Maybe they changed that. But what I'm thinking you'll see now, because there'll be virtually no in-person evaluations by college coaches for about 4, 5, 6 months. So what do you think that does, if it changes what recruiting is like during the high school season at all?
Yeah, I think you have to be a little bit more selective. You have to try to see guys as much as you can during next season. But a lot of kids are committing early, so it's, for Arkansas, in their position, it might actually be okay, because you offer a bunch of elite guys that you spend a lot of time recruiting, and then they end up picking someone else. So as long as they do that early enough, it kind of sets you up to, I don't want to call them leftovers, but there are a lot of guys that won't have found their perfect spot by the start of the next season, and then Arkansas can, capitalize on going after those guys earlier, when usually that happens in like the last 2 months, where you finally see who is left on the board and you go after them really hard right towards signing day. But now they can focus on those guys earlier, really try to evaluate them more during the season, and then hopefully get a better overall class. They might not have as many stars as they would have if this hadn't happened, because they won't be able to get them to campus this spring, which is usually a really big deal. So they'll just have to load up on visits later, and I imagine they'll host more official visitors in the fall because they couldn't do them this spring.
So if just by general math, if there's more commitments earlier than usual, then will there be more decommitments in a few months than usual? I'd seen some numbers, and I don't remember exactly, but there had been like more than twice the amount of verbal commits than in the previous 2 years combined by last week, if you're going by the same date. So when I saw these numbers, I'm thinking, well, all these kids are making decisions a lot earlier than usual, sometimes without visiting. If they're able to visit and think on this a little bit more, do you think there'll be a lot more decommitments as well?
Yeah, so it'll go, there are two groups. Kids who didn't get to visit, but, they're getting pressured to commit even if they haven't visited, and so they just want to do that. And then eventually when the visits open up, they'll start taking visits elsewhere and kind of, probably decide to open things up to weigh their options a little bit more freely. But then there's the other group who I think that there's a lot of these guys who kind of already knew where they wanted to go, and this kind of gave them an opportunity to just kind of get it over with. They're probably tired of talking to 15 or more coaches every single day because that's what these coaches are trying to do. They see more talking as a sign of we're in a good position, whereas these kids probably don't necessarily want to be talking to these guys every single day. I understand building relationships, but that's still a lot. I don't talk to my own family more than a couple times a week. So it's a lot for these kids, and so some of them just feel set in where they're going, but there will be a lot of decommitments, I think, down the road.
Think of that, SmackDown. Just think of that. You'd be around, a well-known high school football recruit who hasn't made his decision yet, and he's just like, got another one of these damn coaches calling me here. I am so sick of talking to these guys.
They can't have that much in common, right?
No.
What do you talk about for hours and hours, day after day? I would get pretty tired of it.
Speaking to Nikki Chavanel here on Halftime, well, let's talk about some of these players that could be coming to Arkansas. We have a pair of Texas guys that have put Arkansas in the top 5. Jordan Eubanks from Denton, Texas, a 3-star, and then Katron Jackson from Royce City, Texas, has Arkansas and 5 other SEC schools in his Final 14. But you think he might be coming to Arkansas?
So Katron Jackson is definitely top 3 on the board for Justin Steppen. You can tell because they talk all the time. And so that's, a sign that Arkansas is in a good position, because if he didn't want to talk all the time, he'd probably just stop. I don't know how polite he is, but most kids, they usually kind of taper off if they don't want to continue pursuing a program. So yeah, they made the top 14. He probably could have narrowed that down more, but I guess he's got so many coaches talking to him that he feels bad about cutting them out before taking more visits. So I still think Arkansas is, top 5 for him in that group of 14. And then Jordan Eubanks is a kid that Arkansas got in early. There was 1 week for this kid that he had, I think, 8 offers all at once in 1 week. And so he's narrowed down basically. It's essentially all of his best offers, so I don't really know how serious to take that because he hasn't taken many visits. But Arkansas is up there. It's closer to home than a lot of other schools on his list, and I know Arkansas really likes him. So he plays outside linebacker and safety, so I don't really know what group he'd be in, but a versatile kid.
I think one thing, too, that kind of just noticed was last week, the week prior, Razorbacks were starting to build momentum. Coaching staff was starting to get some recruits in, and you heard about every other day there was someone coming, and then last week, none. Is there any reason to that, or is it just kind of the time we live in right now, just kind of a slow period right now in recruiting?
Yeah, so Arkansas had a really good hit rate with the kids that they were able to bring to campus before the shutdown happened, and now those are kind of running out. Every other guy that hasn't picked Arkansas at this point is just kind of waiting to take visits elsewhere. It's hard to convince kids after one visit to jump on board, so I think we just kind of run out of those guys now, and they'll just continue to virtually build relationships, but I don't think we're going to have a commit every week after this first group.
I want to transition to basketball just for a second. We got 3 possible graduate transfers on the market right now for Arkansas. They've been listed in probably top 5 and top 6s. And I think we're going to have to hear something from Isaiah Joe here pretty quick if he's going to stay or go, because right now there's no room for these guys. But we'll play the magic ball. Let's say Isaiah Joe does go. What about these 3 graduate transfers that have Arkansas on their final lists?
Yeah, off the top of my head, there have been so many of these guys, it's hard for me to remember. But the kid from Arizona State really intrigues me. I think it's Elijah something. He really intrigues me. He has Arkansas in his top 3, and from what we've heard from some Arizona State sources, like Arkansas sounds maybe like the leader there, but he is from Florida and he has UCF on his list as well. So, kind of depends on what he wants to do, but he's not looking to actually make a decision until a little later, so that bodes well for Arkansas too. If there's no real reason why he's holding off, then that might be a sign that he does want to come to Arkansas, because, as we know, Eric Musselman probably isn't going to announce another transfer until Isaiah Joe makes a decision. But a lot of people have been saying that, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. The coaches might know someone is transferring that we just don't know about yet. So, we're kind of keeping our eyes out for transfer news and stuff.
Nikki, when I heard you talking about Keytron and how some kids, they don't want to tell a coach that's been calling them for months that they're not going to go to his school, so they'll just sort of stop answering. They ghost, I guess.
Yeah.
And in some cases they don't want to tell them reasons why. They want to let them down easily. And the more I hear this, the more I realize recruiting is just like dating, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I when I first got on the beat, I had this idea one day about writing a story like that. And like at the end, it was just more, it's not really content that we would post on our site, but I had a lot of similarities between the two. It's pretty funny.
Absolutely. And I'm not asking for your dating stories because I know there's probably some horror stories that you just don't want. Nikki, appreciate you as always. Thank you. Good luck with planning the move, and we'll look forward to talking more sports next week with you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
You got it. That's Nikki Chavanel. Go to hitthatline.com. We right now have a Memorial Day weekend contest. So how are you going to spend your Memorial Day? I'm going to guarantee SmackDown is going to be eating burgers and wings.
We're smoking some barbecue. You were close.
Matty T's probably going to watch some movies.
Fair enough.
Is that about accurate? Since we're not doing a radio show, I'm just going to sleep in. So I'm not taking a picture of that. But if you send a picture of what you're doing on Memorial Day to our Hit That Line, to hitthatline.com, you can just post your photos right there. You'll see the button that allows you to post your photo. The best photo wins $50 at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville or Russellville. And you can enter a new photo every day till Tuesday. The winners announced May 26th on the Morning Rush. That's at hitthatline.com.
Spring is here, and there's no better time to get out of the house and back on the road. Time for the windows rolled down and the radios turned up. Southern Tire Mart proudly offers America's most trusted brands, such as Toyo. Trust us for your last-minute getaways, open road adventures, and memories that outlast the drive. When you can rely on your tires, you are free to enjoy the ride. Your Toyo tires are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith. Southern Tire Mart and Toyo, we keep you rolling.
Your locally owned Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street in Fort Smith will remain open during these unprecedented times. Takeout and curbside orders are available by calling 479-478-9600 or order online at joesfortsmith.com or use the Waiter app on your phone or tablet. Eat local with Joe's Grill and Cantina, 478-9600 or online at joesfortsmith.com. Joe's Grill and Cantina.
I'm Attorney General Leslie Rutledge, and you're watching the Rutledge Report. The governor declared a state of emergency. Price gouging laws are now in effect. Businesses and individuals cannot charge 10% more than they did before. Bad actors will face criminal charges and a fine of up to $10,000 per item. Report price gouging to my office. At the Attorney General's office, we will do the fighting for you. Call us at 800-482-8982 or visit arkansasag.gov.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Stugatz here. Dell Technologies has special business savings right now to help you office everywhere and stay productive. Save up to 45% on desktops, laptops, and do-it-all servers with Intel Core processors. Upgrade to new, modern devices with Windows 10 and save on essential electronics, all with free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
ESPN Radio proudly recognizes National Military Appreciation Month, presented by Navy Federal Credit Union.
David Robinson entered the U.S. Naval Academy in 1983 and led the basketball team to 82 wins in 3 years, including an improbable run to the Elite Eight in 1986. After graduating in 87, he was drafted #1 overall. His NBA career was put on hold as he spent 2 years on active duty in the Civil Engineering Corps. He went on to have a Hall of Fame career in the NBA.
No one is more reliable than you, the brave men and women of the military. Whether you're on active duty or a veteran, you're always there for us. That's why Navy Federal Credit Union has been there for you since 1933. Now more than ever, we want to thank you. So we're saying it by offering special deals on credit cards, car loans, and certificates. Go to NavyFederal.org/celebrate to find out more. It's just a small token of our appreciation for our reliable military members. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling has a new owner, Andy Harrod, and he is ready to make your auto body repairs today. If you live in Barling, Central, Lavaca, or Charleston, Colorworks is your local auto body repair shop. Andy provides superior auto body repair and paint work in addition to working with your insurance company to make your claim as easy as possible. If you have a collision and need repairs, ask for Andy at Colorworks, 1206 4th Street in Barling across from CV's, or call 434-2639.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
Welcome back on Halftime. Just see where the Chiefs released Martrell Spate. No, he didn't play last year. Seems to end the former Razorbacks NFL career, though it really ended last season. 37 games, 90 tackles, an interception, 3 pass breakups. Fifth rounder by Washington in 2015, taken 1 round after Trey Flowers, who I believe is the last defensive player from that 2014 Razorback team that is in the NFL. Had Darius Philon also, but he didn't play last year after an arrest, I think, for aggravated assault. So looks like Trey Flowers is all that's left carrying the mantle for Arkansas 2015. Brandon Allen, of course, still in the NFL, but that's it.
And he just signed with, Trey Flowers just signed with Detroit.
That's correct.
Played last year. Well, I say that. He played last year for Detroit, but
yeah, he was there for the last year too. Yep, signed that big contract. Anyway, so we brought up Felipe Franks earlier. Rivals listing him as the 11th best transfer quarterback. So, and it doesn't matter what he's listed as far as transfer quarterback across the country. It'll really matter how he stacks up against the rest of the SEC. And when you look at the quarterback situation for the SEC, it seems that most of the jobs are locked up. I believe that the Arkansas job is locked up before Franks ever really stepped on campus. I mean, there's nothing that we saw from any other quarterback that rejoins Arkansas this year that you think that they're ready to step into a starting role and be the guy next season. The only question I think about Franks is whether or not that ankle is fully healed so he can do some of the things that you want to do inside Kendall Briles' offense, and really one of the things that made him an effective quarterback to begin with. So I still think it's his job to lose once camp does start. But otherwise, I see probably 11 of the 14 teams in this league right now having either an assumed starter or a darn clear-cut leader by the time camp begins. And I think Arkansas is amongst that list, too.
So this was published, just found this. This was published back in February before everything went down the pooper here recently, but this is on 24/7 Sports. They got, just going through, they got Jarrett Guarantano. I know I pronounced that last name wrong. Tennessee at 11. Sean Robinson at Mizzou at 12. Miles Brennan at LSU at 13. That's a wake-up reality for LSU. You go from the Heisman Trophy winner to what they think is the 13th best quarterback in the SEC.
That's just because there's not much known about him.
That's
I think
true.
Brennan was a pretty highly rated recruit. And I wanted to go through the list here. There's just a couple of things off the top of your head that you think about these guys, right? And Brennan, the only thing that we're wondering about Brennan is you don't have quite the level of skill players that you had last year in the championship season.
Yep.
And he's not had to start yet. So is he ready to step in and assume the mantle and handle that pressure? Kellen Mond, Texas A&M. I mean, there's a lot of good things that Mond can do, but he makes a lot of decisions that makes you scratch your head, and he still hasn't reached what looks like supposed to be top-notch potential. KJ Costello, Mississippi State, had a big injury last year. Can he bounce back from that? Otherwise, he might be the best quarterback in the SEC this year. John Reese Plumlee at Ole Miss. Is he a running back or a quarterback? I think that's what Lane Kiffin's got to figure out. Mac Jones at Alabama. What you saw at the end of the season last year, was that a flash in the pan, and can he hold off five-star recruit Bryce Young? Bo Nix at Auburn. Can you work with Chad Morris?
That's going to be fun to figure out.
And can you get better? I mean, Morris, I think he's going to do really good work as an offensive coordinator there. Jamie Newman, who transferred from Wake Forest to go to Georgia. I think he's one of the top 4 in the SEC. Ryan Helinski at South Carolina, he's probably in the bottom third of quarterbacks in the SEC. Kyle Trask, the guy who never started in high school or college until last year when Franks got injured, and then had maybe the best second half of any quarterback in the SEC, not named Tua or Burrow. Trask might be one of the best in the conference. Kentucky's got a battle between Joey Gatewood and Terry Wilson, who was injured last year. You mentioned Sean Robinson from Mizzou. He's got to win the position and will be battled by Fayetteville's own Taylor Powell. Robinson, transferring from TCU, sat out last year. You got Guarantano at Tennessee. I don't think he's all that good. And Vanderbilt has 4 totally new quarterbacks coming in, including a transfer from Kentucky who'd been at JUCO. So, I mean, that's your quarterback situation in the SEC. I think, look, at this point, last year, you had stars. I mean, guys that did we know Joe Burrow was going to be that good? No, but there was a sense he was going to be a lot better. There was still Tua. Nobody's necessarily like a star stepping into this season. There's a lot of question marks. But really, as of right now, I don't think there's a lot of open jobs.
I agree. And I think, too, I mean, like last year when Starkle transferred in, he wasn't a star, but you assumed that he would probably – I would have thought it would have panned out a whole lot better than it did. So, I mean, there's that. But there's a lot of talented quarterbacks in here right now and a lot of relatively unknown quarterbacks. So, yes, a lot of the starting jobs are closed up. But that just the ceiling's the limit for most of these quarterbacks because most of them, maybe Bo Nix, Mac Jones. You could probably throw in a Kyle Trask, and I would even throw Felipe Franks in there. Other than those 4 and Kellen Mond, we don't really know much about the rest of them.
Here's who I think the top 4 in the league are, not in any specific order. Trask, Costello, Mac Jones, Jamie Newman. The second level of quarterbacks, I'd go with Nix, Franks, Kellen Mond, and Plumlee. I think Plumlee's ability to run definitely outweighs his ability to throw. I don't think we know enough about Miles Brennan, and I think the third level would be Guarantano and Helinski, and you still got to figure out what's up with Kentucky, Missouri, and Vanderbilt. So that's how I see the quarterback situation, and that doesn't even take into account what will be important for Arkansas. Better have somebody ready to go if Franks gets hurt again. Now, it's not like he's been injury-prone throughout his career, but that injury from last year, that ankle was pretty gruesome.
And it's hard to come back from an ankle injury like that. You can come back from sprains and different things like that, but the injury that he suffered, that's hard to come back from, and you don't really necessarily get all of your mobility back, if ever. And if you do get it back, it's going to take a while for it to go. And I think that's where and you have it in here in our rundown. We were going to talk about it too. I think this is KJ Jefferson's backup job to lose, and then eventually, because Felipe Franks is only here for a year, 2 years, a year, correct?
Well, he could put in for another year on a hardship waiver, but that's only an if.
Okay, so we'll just say he's here for a year. Next season, unless barring something stupid happening or getting some big grand 5-star, I genuinely think this is KJ Jefferson's job to lose heading into next season. So it's almost this year, learn the offense, get better under Kendall Briles' system, because you know Kendall Briles is going to quarterback system, because they're going to get to throw the ball over the field, and he can work on his arm and get ready for the offense and get ready for next season, because this is his job next year, I think.
Well, Felipe Franks, from everything we know, has great arm strength. He's going to add an ability to hit the deep ball with this team, but it's his ability to maneuver in the pocket and create gains out of broken plays that you would have never seen from Nick Starkel or Ben Hicks, and this is also going to be one of the interesting things about seeing how the differences between the coaching staffs. When will it be announced that Franks is the starting quarterback? You know, I mean, you never even knew who QB1 was last year, not even when the season was over. There never was one for the last 2 seasons. It would be pretty important, I think, early in the season, with an experienced quarterback who has won some games in the SEC, as long as he's healthy, as long as that ankle is okay, to anoint him the starter as early as possible and let this team rally around him a little bit.
I agree, 100%.
Anoint your leader, see if he's able to answer the bell of being a leader, and have your QB1, a lot earlier than we've been used to these last couple of years.
Andy Hodges just sent me a text and said Malik Hornsby, he thinks he'll beat out KJ Jefferson.
Well, sure. We forget about Malik Hornsby, who's coming in as a true freshman. So that'll be an interesting battle to watch. That's true. You're going to need a backup quarterback. There's no doubt. We've learned that the last few years. 877-377-6963 to get on halftime. Chuck Barrett coming up in about 30 minutes. Got thoughts on teams and stories through sports that deserve the last chance treatment. And if you know me, I've got some sarcastically smart-ass documentaries that I think would draw a lot of eyes as well. Plus, Ty Richardson cut his hair. Oh, boy. We'll be back after this.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. Get amazing fast fiber internet, 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for only $79.95 per month. TV packages from the basics to our amazing Ultra TV, starting at $32.95. Fiber phone services start at $29.95. Go to waveruralconnect.com to find out if we are installing in your area, or call 1-833-4-WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Franco Furniture's grand reopening. You heard right. Franco Furniture is reopening after closing down for your safety. Made in the USA, Speed Queen, washers and dryers, Jackson and Catnapper sofas and loves, all made in the USA. Franco Furniture is reopening May 11. Reopening May 11th. Family owned for 28 years. In-store no credit check financing and service after the sale. Franco Furniture. 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Are your workouts more fun than this? Well, if they are, then I want to sign you to an endorsement deal with Michelob Ultra. I'm looking for anyone and everyone who makes working out a blast. If that's you, head to TeamUltra.com for a chance to score awesome perks like Team Ultra gear and more. That's TeamUltra.com to enter.
No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus. See official rules at TeamUltra.com. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
It's that time of year, baseball season, and time to clean. Let Service Master Clean help you with your carpet, upholstery, and floor cleaning. Service Master Clean has been an industry leader for more than 60 years and back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or ServiceMasterPC.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
A decrease in the clouds tonight. An overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 50s. I think Tuesday we should see a whole lot of sunshine. Our high low 70s north, upper 70s south. And Wednesday, plenty of sunshine. Our high in the middle to upper 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Outside is fun again with Mosquito Joe. Mosquito Joe rids your yard of pesky mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas so you can enjoy being outside. Call Mosquito Joe at 501-508-2528 or visit ArkansasMosquitoJoe.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
You guys are awesome, baby. You have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
All right, getting into our second hour. Chuck Barrett, voice of the Razorbacks, 30 minutes away. Finish out the show with a Get Off My Lawn. And plenty to get to here as we welcome you inside the ESPN Arkansas studios. Once again here for halftime, Phil Elson, Matt Smackdown Jenkins, and Matty T. So I remember ending the show yesterday, SmackDown, with the thought that I was, my second up, third up? I just was happy. Or not happy, just like I'd had enough of The Last Dance. Like I had exactly my fill. I wasn't sick of it. I didn't need any more of it. I had my Goldilocks moment with The Last Dance. Just right. Don't need an 11th episode. Not going to watch the Last Rose thing that they're doing tonight with Stephen A. Smith. I'm over it.
I forgot about that. I'll probably have that on tonight.
But we need more. We need more sports documentaries that are real documentaries, by the way, not just commercials for the main topic of it. And we're going to get some of this. Lance Armstrong, a couple of episodes about Lance. Going to guarantee you he did not get the final say.
No.
And then about Bruce Lee, and then the home run chase of '98.
Have you seen the trailer for that? The home run one?
Yes.
They got Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. I was shocked.
Well, how can you do a documentary or a movie about the '98 home run chase without the two guys who were involved in it?
You're right. I just figured they would
have. Look, they had to pull. It sounds like they had to pull teeth to get Stockton to sit, to get Reggie Miller to sit, a number of other of the opponents for the Bulls during that time. You can't do a story about 1998 baseball without both Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, and hopefully they're truthful about what went down during those times.
I hope. But that's all coming doing like that starts this Sunday, correct?
It's like in 3 weeks, I think.
But it's all in
that one comes out,
and it's all back to back Sundays.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but there's a lot of other, teams, sports personalities, leagues, moments that maybe would be able to withstand what you need content-wise out of a 10-hour series. That's the part about this. The thing that made The Last Dance so incredible to draw us all in, it's the personalities, it's the dominance, and it's the way that it ended. And that's why, I know this list that you put up here, I don't know what website it came from. The number one person that they want here is LeBron James. The LeBron James story is not over, all right? I'm not saying it's not interesting at all. One of the reasons why The Last Dance hits you the way that it hits you is because the dynasty and the dominance ended, poof, just like that and went away.
Yep.
And so that's why, a last dance treatment on Tiger Woods, sure, and then you can build it up to the victory at the Masters from last year. The Belichick Patriots, I think we might have just seen the dynasty go poof, and we're all going to be interested in the reasons why the Belichick-Brady marriage disintegrated. So that one, I think, would belong. And since you've got 20 years of dominance, you can squeeze 10 hours out of it, I'm sure. The Golden State Warriors thing, maybe I'm just not as drawn to today's NBA. I don't know if I would put that one on.
Younger generation would probably go for that one.
One that you put here that I think would really do well, maybe not in the United States, but in Canada, like the version of The Last Dance for Canada is the Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers story.
Yes.
Which also ended in a really dramatic way. I mean, Gretzky was traded to the LA Kings because his wife, Janet Jones, was an actress. And she's not going to live in Edmonton to be an actress, so he moves to Los Angeles. I remember when that happened. That was the Canadian royal wedding when it happened, and the day he was traded, you would have thought that the prime minister was assassinated. But the difference here is the Oilers still went on to win a Stanley Cup without him, thanks to Mark Messier. But I think that one would generate a lot of eyes. There was one that Connor O'Gara said yesterday that I really think would work. And I think Connor hit the proverbial nail on the head here, especially when you're looking at, like, huge personalities, team that comes out of nowhere, dominance for a lengthy period of time, followed by a whoosh, disappearance. Miami Hurricanes football.
That big, yeah. And they've done one. They did the 30 for 30, right?
But that's just a 30 for 30. I'm talking about a 10-part, 10-hour documentary.
Well, that'd be the one. I mean,
man, you could do 2 hours on the '87 Orange Bowl alone with Testaverde and his guys coming out of the plane wearing Army fatigues, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, the building of the program under Schnellenberger, Jim Kelly, Michael Irvin. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And the arrests and the championships and the just that 2000 team with all the great NFLers that came from there. And then where's Miami been of late? They're like the eastern version of Texas. Always think they're back when they are proven otherwise. So I think Miami football belongs there easily.
I think the one for me, and it's not really personalities and flamboyantness and everything like that, but I would be I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm a fan and just because of how it's progressed over the years. Tennessee and UConn women's basketball.
Yeah.
That would be because
UConn is still at that level. UConn is still at that level. Tennessee hasn't been near the level since Pat Summitt retired and then passed away.
True, but you could
Tennessee would probably be more interesting.
It would be interesting, but it also, especially now when Kobe passed away, women's basketball was fixing to jump up into the stratosphere because Kobe was so completely on board with the WNBA, his Mamba program, and everything that went into it. That would have been interesting because it seems to me, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but as for me, seeing Tennessee and UConn's women's basketball sent them moving forward, not necessarily in the stratosphere, but enough for us to talk about it. You see what I mean?
Agreed, yes. And the dislike between the two programs and the two head coaches for a good long while also makes for very interesting television. Pete Rose's career, and up until right now, a good one. I mean, that's tragic. There's tragedy attached to that. That would be 20 hours for crying out loud. Pete Rose, enough said as far as I'm concerned there. And the Cowboys championship teams of the 90s.
I'm on board for that.
Well, and I know you are because you're a Cowboys fan, but think it's the same idea. A team that was dead last came out of nowhere. I mean, they were 1-15 in Jimmy Johnson's first year? And then turn into a truly dominant team. Has there been a team that's won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years since? We got the Patriots with 6. I don't know if they've done 3 in 4 years. They might have, but at the top of my head, I can't remember.
I don't think so.
But then with the ego battles between Jerry and Jimmy Johnson, you can tell me anybody in Arkansas is not going to be watching that, right? And the way that it all blew up. You're the Cowboys fan. When's the last Super Bowl Dallas has been to?
Yeah.
You don't need me to remind you.
Nope. Mike from Fort Smith said it, a funny one. We were talking about Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. She said Sammy will probably forget how to speak English when he's asked about using the roids. Go back.
I'm wondering how much lighter his skin is now. You remember, the last time I saw Sammy Sosa in public, he did not look the same. He did. Same skin disorder that Michael Jackson suffered from.
Yeah, was that he did that?
Vitiligo.
Was that what was it called?
Vitiligo.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I didn't even know what it was called. So let's see. We've got some other text coming in here. B.E. from Clarksville. Do you really want a documentary
why
on
are they
that
trying to
College
get on
World
your?
Series?
Oh my God!
Are you guys trying to force me to kill the show before it ends today?
B.E. Come on, bro.
He wants a documentary on the 2018 College World Series. Sorry, not happening. Mike in Fort Smith. Yeah, we already got to him. Jason in Frankfurt, the Molina Brothers documentary. Well, I'm a baseball geek, and I love catching, so I'd watch that. I don't know how many other people would be interested in it. Bruce in Fort Smith, Draymond Green versus Kevin Durant. What actually happened? I could not care less. Those are two reasons why I pretty much don't pay very much attention to the NBA now.
Oh, that'd be a soap opera at its finest right there, Bruce.
Did I see where Draymond Green thought that he could have guarded Shaq?
Yeah.
Did I see him say this? Are you serious?
Draymond says a lot of stuff, though.
Yeah, I think Draymond says a lot without really even realizing what it is he's saying. Halftime's brought to you by our friends at Knockouts. Knockout Salon, Phoenix Avenue, Fort Smith, opening shortly. And in a little more than a week and a half, we're going to be there live in person for an edition of Halftime where you can actually see me and SmackDown in the same room together. It'll be a lot of fun.
That'll be a glorious day. We haven't been in the same room together in a while.
Knockouts haircuts for men. Not only do you get an outstanding haircut, you can drink yourself an ice-cold beer while it happens. Sounds like fun. 877-377-6963. I get to give you my sarcastically smart-ass 10-part documentaries I'd like to see.
Yes, please.
And Chuck Barrett comes up in 20 minutes. Stay tuned.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Craig.
Seth Greenberg, college basketball analyst for ESPN.
Finding that balance has been important. I think he found that balance, and I'm going to say it again, I joke with him. Danielle's given him great balance, because Musk never had that balance maybe when he was an NBA coach. They're as good a team, a husband-wife team, as there is in college basketball.
Don't miss The Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there's a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. It's a difficult time right now, and social distancing is vitally important. That's why I'm here to encourage you to keep running. It's a great way to exercise in solitude, build up your immune system, and keep from going stir-crazy. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips on how to take care of yourself during this time. And remember, just keep running. This has been brought to you by True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
To feel the calming effects of nature, take a deep breath. In and out. Every breath makes you feel closer to nature, and every sip makes nature feel closer to you. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, beer in its organic form.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that you are now able to get the repair process started on your schedule. With just a few clicks of your cell phone, you can send photos and your vehicle information directly to our shop. We will respond within 24 hours with a detailed estimate for repairs. It's that simple. We are here for you. Visit our website for all of the details. We offer complimentary pickup and drop-off as well, and extra steps are being taken to ensure your car is returned as good as new and completely sanitized.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! You gotta fight for your right to party!
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Folliner misses the three this time. Long rebound. Joe ahead to Harris. Jalen to the basket. Gets the dunk with two hands. And all of a sudden, the Hogs are within three.
See here, we got a text from the 870 wants a documentary, a 10-part, 10-hour documentary. That's the thing. There's a difference between 30 for 30 and what we're talking about with The Last Dance. 30 for 30 was like 30 minutes or an hour long. Last Dance is 10 parts, 10 hours. I think it's a lot easier to do 30 minutes than it is 10 hours. That's what we're getting at here. Documentary on the Steelers winning 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. I'm all for it. Being from Pittsburgh and all, but you're going to have to be honest about these things. The Steelers in the 70s were the first team that actually was using steroids, man. I mean, you're going to have to be honest about these things, okay? So it's not just about the winning. It's not just about the dominance. I want to hear the truth. I want to hear the truth about it. I got another one from Mike in Fort Smith, and for some reason, because I guess I'm from Pittsburgh, everyone wants the Pittsburgh stories here. Clemente's story needs to be told for the youngsters. That'd be a great one. I mean, can you get 10 hours out of it? That's the thing. Zach in Springdale said, Pirates and Steelers of the late 70s, cocaine, drugs, and championships. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what was going on then.
Got one on our Facebook page from Steven. Said, how about a documentary about Barry Sanders and what happened his last year?
I don't know if you're going to squeeze 10 hours out of it. That's the only issue. Do it 30 for 30? Absolutely. 10 hours of his last season? Probably not enough for anybody that's not living in Detroit or was a Lions fan.
And I know Miss Betty, Miss Betty came in here, our secretary, and she was very adamant to me during the break. We need a Tiger Woods documentary. She made that abundantly clear that we need Tiger Woods.
Well, see, and that's got the highs and the lows. It's got the redemption story from last year, but the story's not over yet. That's the thing. I mean, the Bulls story involving Michael Jordan is over and was a long time ago. You can't write the story until it's done. But how about some of these stories here? I thought these might work. I got one that I named Catfished Jesus, the story of Manti and Lene. Could you get 10 hours out of that?
Oh, of course you can.
Okay.
You could go into you could start it by talking about just what is a catfish.
Well, you do an entire hour just on that?
Yeah. They already have a movie about that. It was called Catfish.
But was it involving a famous football player?
No, that was the only difference.
Damn it, Matt.
At a school associated with the Irish Catholic Church. How about this one? How did those steroids get inside my body? The lies of Bonds, Palmero, and Clemens.
How did they get there?
How did that happen?
Osmosis.
I don't understand.
Osmosis.
I'm an athlete that's very, very careful about the things I put inside my body and how I handle my body. How did those steroids get inside my skin? I'll never figure it out. 10-part, 10 hours. I think you could work that one out.
Oh, heck yeah.
Here's one for you. The Worst Broadcasts in Sports History is the title, and it's the story of Dennis Miller on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
There's some embarrassing stuff when Dennis, and I like Dennis. I used to like Dennis Miller. He's from my hometown. He went to the same college as me. He's turned into a little bit of a lot of a caricature of what he used to be, which was a caricature to, nonetheless. He was an awful quote-unquote sports broadcaster. That was
he
a
likes to
very
use big
difficult
words.
broadcast to watch. Yes, he likes to seem intelligent. But when he didn't have somebody writing his jokes for him or, scripting something for him, he just wasn't quite as funny on a football game. Go figure. Here's one, and I don't know if you guys ever heard about this. I would title this one, and this one you could get 10 hours out of. It's titled The Weirdest Trade, and it's the story of the two Yankees pitchers in 1973, Fritz Peterson and Mike Kekich, who swapped wives and announced it at a press conference at spring training. Oh, yeah. You could get 10 hours out of that.
Was it just for a night or, like, permanently?
No, it was for this. It was supposed to be for the season.
They swapped wives at a press conference?
Yes, they announced it at a press conference. Yes. Could you imagine this actually happening now? In today's day and age, we're actually I feel like our mores are a little different, where you might actually accept that more than you would in 1974. It's just shocking. But that you could get 10 hours out of a major league pitching combo wife swap. That's pretty ridiculous stuff.
I've never heard of that. Huh.
Well, I didn't think you had, but it's legit. It happened. Have fun. I think you'll read the story with your mouth fully open and your tongue hanging out.
I say SmackDown, he usually, whenever he watches wife swap videos, it's only for a few minutes at a time.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I'm real bad about wife swap. What was shut up. Get out of here.
That was a real show, right? That actually used to be a show.
Yeah.
What was the new show is it 90 Day Bride or something like that?
90 Day Fiance.
Is that what? Yeah.
That's our Sunday night routine.
Oh. God. What is
All
that
right,
on TLC?
The Learning Channel, because I'm smart.
I've got one I would title Conspiracy, although I don't know if this is the right title. And we haven't brought this up on this show, but on other shows on this station. There are some people that have some very interesting theories about the Bobby Petrino motorcycle crash that don't necessarily involve a crashed motorcycle.
Oh, it was the angry boyfriend that ran him off the road?
Correct.
Allegedly.
Yes, I would like to see that theory fleshed out for all to see in truthful modes. That's the kind of story that doesn't happen until one of the subjects is gone from this earth, So, but I think that one would get a lot of eyes from the state of Arkansas. And then the one I just thought of, because it's so crazy you could even imagine that this would happen, but it's Zach in Springdale texted in about the Steelers and the Pirates of the 70s. Call this one Coke in the Clubhouse, the story of the 1985 Pittsburgh drug trials. And so I don't know if if you know about this much, SmackDown, but baseball, in the 90s and last decade, baseball had the performance-enhancing drug problem. Well, in the 1980s, baseball had a cocaine problem. And it pretty much went through the Pittsburgh Pirates clubhouse. And you know who the kingpin of Major League Baseball was? The guy who was the pirate freaking parrot. The mascot was the kingpin.
Interesting.
Or at least the guy that distributed throughout the major leagues. I think you could get 10 hours out of that, too.
Did he distribute while he was in the outfit?
I think that would be a little difficult to do.
Yeah. But he has it stashed in the outfit, and there's his little hand, would come off and he'd pass it
pockets.
through there.
Hey, you, Stargell, over there in the corner. What are you doing with the parrot over there? Oh, he's just giving me hitting tips.
Hitting tips.
Hitting what tips? Oh, 877-377-6963. And Hacker and Harrison sends in the June 17th, 1994. Now, that was the one about OJ. Now, see, that's actually a 30 for 30. Again, trying to carefully draw a distinction between just 30 minutes and 10 hours. The amount of content you have to have for 10 hours means you must have outsized personalities, huge names, dominance, and I think the way that it all blows up, like the way it blew up with the Bulls, that's the way it's got to finish.
I think you could get we haven't mentioned this one. You can maybe do a Kobe Bryant one, because you could go into the three-peat that he had with Shaq and how that broke up, and then when they traded for Pau Gasol, and then they got Derek Fisher and just different players that loaded up, they went on another run, and just kind of almost Kobe Bryant's story, maybe too.
I would actually sit there and watch 10 hours of Phil Jackson talking about his entire career.
That too. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
maybe combine it with an episode of Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. I think these two might actually get along. And boy, I think they could draw some interesting stories out of each other. Would that be an interesting combo?
We just need to do that. So the next start, so get Phil Jackson, Mike Tyson, instead of all the glitz and glamour that The Last Dance was, just put a box of weed and Mike Tyson and then let them go.
A box. Gosh.
A box.
A whole box.
A whole box.
That's a lot.
All right, so we got Chuck
You can
Barrett.
tell I've never done that before, so I don't know.
That's usually how they transport it in boxes.
Oh, okay.
So we've got Chuck Barrett coming up in the next segment here. And I'm excited to bring Chuck on. And we've had Chuck on the show a number of times. I would say I'd have no shot of taking the job that I have at the Razorbacks if it wasn't for Chuck. You remember what you felt, SmackDown, when it was announced that Chuck Barrett was leaving the baseball broadcasts?
I don't recall it. I'll be completely honest, because I think about the time I got into baseball, I think you were on the call. So I personally don't remember when Chuck Barrett left baseball. No, I don't.
Well, I do, because I was still doing Traveler games then, and when the announcement came down, it was it hit people really hard. Not in the way that like Paul's death did, because that was so sudden and he was gone, and that's a completely different thing. But Chuck leaving baseball had a pretty deep impact upon people, and I was always thankful for the times that I filled in for him and how helpful he was for me, somebody who hadn't been connected at all with the college game, and gave me some tips here and there. And I've told him this on our show before, the biggest thing that he ever told me for advice was to never forget that it was a Razorback broadcast first and a baseball broadcast second. It's a very subtle change, but I thought that was a really important change. And I'm pretty positive without Chuck putting in a good word with the powers that be and being somebody that they all trusted, obviously, that I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in now, calling Arkansas baseball games and certainly the women's basketball games, and even doing this show. So, as we're bringing on legendary college sports announcers this week, I think Chuck belongs up at the top of the list with the rest of them. And I've always been grateful for his advice and for his friendship and for his willingness to come on halftime as often as he has. And we will have the one and only voice of Arkansas Razorback football and men's basketball coming up after the break. On any questions for Chuck, you can text him in at 877-377-6963. And then we'll finish out the show with Get Off My Lawn. Good Tuesday today. Stay tuned. Halftime is right back.
Business owners, if your carpets and floors show the effects of too much foot traffic, call the professionals at your local Service Master Clean. Whether it's janitorial cleaning or specialty cleaning to eliminate dirt and grime from carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors, no job is too big or too small. Service Master Clean has been an industry leader for more than 60 years. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or ServiceMasterPC.com.
Need to see a doctor but you're concerned about going? River Valley Primary Care is now seeing patients at all 10 clinics by video and phone visits. See a doctor today who can diagnose your condition and prescribe medication if needed. These visits are now covered by most insurance plans. River Valley Primary Care in Ratcliffe, Mountainburg, Mulberry, Clarksville, Lavaca, Lamar, Waldron, and 3 locations in Fort Smith. Call 479-431-2050 or go online to rvpcs.org. See a doctor today by video or phone with River Valley Primary Care.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Did you know that sometimes roof damage goes unnoticed? Have you seen a few houses in your neighborhood get new roofs in the past couple of years? It could be that your roof has damage. Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance adjusting and residential roofing. Let Brother come do a free inspection of your roof. He'll give you a complete analysis of your roof and work with your insurance company if it needs to be replaced. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
I'm Attorney General Leslie Rutledge, and you're watching the Rutledge Report. The governor declared a state of emergency. Price gouging laws are now in effect. Businesses and individuals cannot charge 10% more than they did before. Bad actors will face criminal charges and a fine of up to $10,000 per item. Report price gouging to my office. At the Attorney General's office, we will do the fighting for you. Call us at 800-482-8982 or visit arkansasag.gov.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Jones for the win. He got it! He got it! He got it! Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play. And as he throws, it's Grady just inside CSU territory. O'Grady inside the 40, still on his feet. Breaks the tackle at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas! Three-pointer on the way. No good. Qualls with the dunk at the buzzer. It goes and Arkansas wins.
You know that voice, the one and only Chuck Barrett, voice of the Razorbacks football and men's basketball, and he joins us here on Halftime. Chuck, it's good to talk to you, man. I always love talking with you. How are you doing?
No, I'm good. How are you guys today?
We're making it, man. We're finding a way to do sports talk without games, which when it hit us, when we realized this is what we were going to be doing like 2 months ago, it's like, how the heck are we going to do this? We have found a way to do it, though. And I got to be honest, I didn't think we'd get to that point. You know sports talk. So how would you have found a way to get through these crazy couple of months as a sports talk host?
Well, I've got the advantage because I grew up in Arkansas. I would have probably talked about every game I'd ever seen. And somebody out there would have seen all those games too, and that person and I would have talked about it. And hey, it's difficult right now. I listen to you. I listen to other shows. I listen to national shows, and it was interesting. Everybody was trying at first, and I would have been doing the same thing, just trying to, figure it out, get your feet underneath you, sort of figure out how we're going to get through this. But hey, you got to keep delivering the mail every day. That's how it works.
That's right, and we still try to deliver sports. The Razorbacks have been doing the same thing. I know you've been hosting these Razorback road shows, and there's another one tonight. What have these been like, and who's on tonight?
Well, let me think, because we record them in advance. This is the one with Muss tonight, I believe. I believe
Okay.
Muss is on tonight. We recorded one yesterday with Coach Pittman was on yesterday on the one we recorded. I think that'll air on Thursday night. But this one's pretty good. Muss is on, and he's got a lot of good things to say. And Sonny Weems is on this one. Sonny plays basketball in China, and so he's an interesting guy, and he's done some things for his hometown of West Memphis during all this shutdown. So, those things have been interesting. It's been strange because I've been in my house, and they've all been in their places, and we all kind of hook up on the screen, but that's sort of the way everybody's doing it right now.
I know, and I've been wondering about how, sports returns, do fans return? What about the broadcasters? The guys who are doing NASCAR were in a remote studio. The ESPN broadcasters who are doing the Korean baseball games, they're in their basements or in their man cave. They're at home. I don't think that's going to be the case for you and me. But could you imagine calling a game remotely where you're not in the stadium, and how difficult that might be to at least give fans an understanding of what it feels like in the stadium, which for me, that's such an important part of radio broadcasts.
I think we're going to see more and more of this. I think this is one of those things in our business that is going to change to an extent and won't change back. I don't think it's going to be that way in every instance, but I do think there are going to be a lot more instances where there are remote broadcasts because, look, we do talk shows remotely. Everybody's in a different place. Most of the shows that you listen to, if they have 3 or 4 people on, they're in 3 or 4 different places. And that's kind of the way the world works now. And I don't sit here and tell you that I think it's great, but I think we're headed toward more of that. I don't think it's going to be that exclusively, but I think this is one of those things in our business that's going to change a little bit. I know Tirico did the golf tournament. Mike Tirico did it from a remote spot, and others will too. And television's got a little bit different advantage in that they can tell they let the pictures tell the story. Radio would be a little different, although most of the games now are in pictures. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how we evolve as a business with remote broadcast, because I think more and more we're going to see it.
Speaking to the voice of the Razorbacks, Chuck Barrett, here on Halftime. Chuck, you mentioned a moment ago just kind of if you were in our shoes, you'd be talking about all the games you've seen over the years. But is there if I asked you right now, or if you came in here and started talking, what game or games or a couple games in general stand out among everything that you've called throughout the years of broadcasting? Is there a game that sticks out in your mind?
Oh, in terms of calling games, I mean, there have been games that were better than others. For me, if I were doing a show right now, I'd be talking about people talk about Razorback basketball. I'd be talking about the night when everybody in Arkansas discovered Arkansas basketball, when we beat Houston 92-47 at Barnhill, and they had a guy named Otis Birdsong, and the game was on TV. It was on statewide television. It's the first time most of us had watched the Razorbacks play. And now we won't mention that a week later Houston beat us by 1 down at Hoffenheim. But that night, our state fell in love with basketball. This was, I think, in 1975 or 6, maybe 77. I think it was 76. And it was really remarkable to watch the birth of that. Just as a fan, I think about beating Texas in football in 1981. There was a story in the paper about that a few days ago when, there was, in the current climate, they'd have stopped the game because of thunder and lightning, and it probably wouldn't have been resumed, but they played right through it. And Arkansas won in, big fashion, beat them when they were number 1. In terms of games I've done, it's going to be hard to top the LSU game. It was my first year in 2007 when Arkansas won down there, when McFadden brought the wood, beat the number 1 team in the country, and it was just a great thing to be a part of. To broadcast a game when your team wins a game in such dramatic fashion from a broadcast standpoint. Certainly in football, that'd be the one I remember. Baseball would be the Toops home run. And basketball, I think you probably just played it a minute ago. The Qualls dunk to beat Kentucky.
You brought up Michael Qualls and Darren McFadden, and I'll angle this with McFadden. Is he the most exciting player during your time at broadcasting Razorback Sports? Is he the most exciting player to ever? To broadcast, to call. Is he the most exciting one, or is it like a Michael Qualls, or is there someone else that sticks out in your mind?
Well, McFadden was dynamite. I mean, he was electric, and you just run out of adjectives when you start talking about him. He was a guy that every time he touched the ball, you knew that there was the potential for a long run and a touchdown. And Matt Jones was the same way in football. He made you feel like every time you played, you had a chance to win. I felt like every time Ryan Mallett took the field, we were going to win. I know we didn't win them all, but I felt like every time he walked out there, we were going to win. Those guys are the ones that stand out. They just have an aura. They make everybody else around them better. Those are 3 guys for me that really stand out because You just felt like every time they were on the field, you were going to win.
You brought, and I'll close with this. I'll throw it back over to Phil. You're talking about basketball for just a moment ago, and such an exciting year this year with Eric Musselman coming in and just almost brought the excitement back. And this question comes from JB Stevens on our Facebook page. What do you think about our team next year? What do you think what would you say about next year's basketball team? We got a top 10 recruiting class coming in. Eric Musselman has been killing it so far, and he got a lot of talent coming back. And just by looking at it, looks like you're going to have a very exciting basketball season this upcoming November.
Oh, I can't wait. I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be good for a while. I think we're about to enter into a really, really good period of Razorback basketball. He's the real deal. He's the real deal. And in all phases, some guys are good at one or two. He's good at all of them. Some guys can coach a team. That's not the same as running a program. He can do both. And I think that when you look at what he's done in recruiting, he's obviously got a vision. He's got a plan. He's able to sell it. He's able to convince people to come here. I think people who've watched him coach know he can coach. He's going to win a lot of ball games here. We're going to be talking about Eric Musselman for a long time.
Well, you know what I'm hoping for, Chuck, and a lot of people are. And we obviously know the state of the baseball program, and Mike Neighbors has women's basketball going in, I think, in the right direction. And from what you're talking about with Muss's team, which I agree with too, I would love, I think we all would, College World Series, 2 Final Fours in the same year. The baseball team's already there. I think basketball teams are trending in that direction sometime in the future.
Oh, it could happen. We talk about Muss a lot because we talk more about the men than we do the women, but Neighbors is just as good on the other side. He's just as good on the women's side. He's you look at what he did at Washington. It's kind of like when we hired Van Horn in baseball. You knew it was just a matter of when because of what he'd done at Nebraska. Neighbors was the same way. Some guys have it, and all 3 of those guys have it. And they're fortunate that they're coaching in the SEC where they've got a lot of resources. And you put resources with a good basketball mind or a good baseball mind, a good recruiter, somebody who has a vision and is confident when they go out and sell it. Boy, you can do a lot of good things. And all 3 of them are really, really good at what they do.
I want to close just on what you might remember from your mindset, your first year as voice of the Razorbacks. We asked Eli Gold about this on Monday, and he's a New Yorker who moves to Alabama, and he said it took a little time for him to feel like he was accepted. Now, you're an Arkansan, so I think you were accepted, but, you're stepping into the role that was vacated by 2 legends, one in a tragic circumstance and the other by retirement. What was that mindset for you? Do you remember feeling pressure or putting pressure on yourself to perform at the level of your predecessors?
Oh, I was about to hyperventilate. I was a basket case my first year in football. Every game. I'm not embarrassed to say it. You feel that. Of course you feel that. And, for those that were around during the time from Paul and then to Mike and then to me, there was a lot of stuff going on, and I was nervous. I'll tell you something though that I will appreciate this, and I will always remember it. Mike Nail gave me his blessing, so to speak. Paul was not able to do that, and I'm not suggesting that he would have anyway, but Mike did, and that meant everything to me, and always will. And he didn't have to do that. He was generous, and that's what allows you to do it. Here's the thing: anytime you do this, when you get that job, there's a pretty good chance you're going to replace a legend. Now, this is not the golden age of radio anymore, and the legendary voices of the 50s and 60s, 70s. It's never going to be like that again. But it's still something that's very viable. And so when you take that job, generally you are replacing a legend. And I think that's what swallowed more people up than anything, if you want to know the truth. It hasn't been the lack of ability. It's just been the fact that, there's pressure. And anybody that says they're not is not telling you the truth.
Well, I can identify with that feeling, Chuck, and I got to be honest. I felt like hearing you talk about Mike Nail giving you his blessing. I think you carried that tradition on, because I don't think I would be the Arkansas baseball play-by-play guy without your blessing either. So I think you passed that tradition along, and I know I've thanked you in person, and I feel like I should thank you over the airwaves too.
Well, that's important, and it's anybody that's ever done it knows it's important. If you've been through it when you don't have it, you know it. When you've been through it when you do have it, you know it. I can tell you, having it's a lot better than not having it.
That's the truth. Chuck, thanks for your time, man. Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you in Fayetteville anytime soon.
Phil.
Take care.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe.
You got it. One and only Chuck Barrett. That's great. I love hearing, what's one of the big things in sports? It's passing traditions along. It's not always father to son, mother to daughter, coach to player. Sometimes it's passing along the traditions that you've learned from working for an organization as someone younger who's trying to do the exact same thing. Great
Absolutely.
to hear Mike did that for Chuck. Chuck did that for me. And maybe at some point I'll have the same chance to do that for somebody else. But I'll tell you this. I'm not giving the job up for a good long time, so wait a while.
we still got to deal with Phil Nelson on Razorback Baseball.
That's right.
Darn
for a
it.
good long while. I'm going to die in the booth, okay? That's the way it's going to happen. Either that or on this show, okay? 877-377-6963. Cherry on the top. Get off my lawn. That's next.
Keeping farms running, construction moving, and towns maintained is essential. That's why Kubota is working to keep you working. Right now, get 0% financing and no payments for 90 days. Offer expires May 31st. Visit KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Kubota. Together, we do more.
See the full line of Kubotas at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and in Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Your locally owned Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street in Fort Smith will remain open during these unprecedented times. Takeout and curbside orders are available by calling 479-478-9600 or order online at joesfortsmith.com or use the Waiter app on your phone or tablet. Eat local with Joe's Grill and Cantina, 478-9600 or online at joesfortsmith.com. Joe's Grill and Cantina.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where the recovery is on. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited about getting back to doing what we do the way we do it. And that means making it fun and easy to get into a nicer, newer car at Rath Auto Resources. We're doing our part by offering up to $2,800 below retail and no payments for 90 days with approved credit. Plus, we extended the $1,200 Rath Auto Relief on select inventory. That's $1,200 to use as you choose on a special selection of Rath Road Ready inventory while they last. Or let us take care of the car you have in the Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. The recovery is on with up to $2,800 off retail, no payments for 90 days, and $1,200 Rath Auto Relief on select inventory at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, Towson and Phoenix, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time
every
Hey, Ty
time.
Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above can make that driveway and fence look brand new with a good power washing. You don't have to put up with those unwanted pests either. Call today and get started with the flea, tick, and mosquito treatment to start enjoying the outdoors again. More than just a mowing service. They're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea, tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
The disruption due to the COVID-19 pandemic will not soon be forgotten. As a result, business practices are changing almost daily. At times like these, family means everything. Hey, I'm Drake Smith here for Pinnacle Telecom. If you're a customer of Pinnacle Telecom and need assistance during these challenging times, we are here for you. Call us at 479-242-0000 and give us an opportunity to help, because you are family, and family means everything. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
Attention, Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Jones gets a screen right side. Mason keeps the dribble with the left hand. He'll launch a three, and he got it to go! Mason Jones with a contested three. He knocked it down. Hogs are up by 3.
Closing out the shop today, halftime. And don't forget to go to our hitthatline.com webpage and click on the Memorial Day link. Where are you spending Memorial Day weekend? Down at the bottom of that page, you'll find a place to enter your photo. And the winning photo will get a $50 gift certificate to CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville and in Fayetteville. Pretty easy to upload that photo. It's right there at hitthatline.com. And if you scroll down just a little bit, the button to post your own photo. We're taking photos of any kind of situation on Memorial Day.
Yeah, just how you're spending it.
Well, and here's one that breaks my heart a little bit. Somebody has already entered a photo from Busch Stadium from a baseball game last year. I guess that was Memorial Day.
That's upsetting.
That's where I'm used to being for around baseball. That's where we would have been for always the SEC baseball tournament championship game is always the day before Memorial Day. So it just brings back the memories. We've got people grilling steaks. We've got really nice settings on the outside. Here's a little outdoor pool setup. Yeah, but no pictures of actual, people. You might want to get some pictures of people, your family members that you're out and about with. But whatever it is, you can enter until the 26th of May at 8 a.m. in the morning. And the winner, the best photo, selected by the folks on the Morning Rush, wins $50 to CJ's Burgers.
And I would like to think I have some saying who wins. So if you want, I accept bribes if you're listening. So no.
I don't know if that may be against the rules.
Is it against? Oh, maybe it is. But yeah, you can go to hitthatline.com. There's a big, nice tab on the website portion. If you get on a computer, it says Memorial Day Photos. And then if you're on your mobile device, you can click the menu icon. Scroll down, it'll be there. And it's also across all of our social media channels on Hit That Line.
Very, very good. Let's close out the show. Get off my lawn.
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous. How dare you? How dare you say such a thing? That is insanity.
You're talking like a song from The Lion King. Stop that. It makes no sense.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
Just when I think you've said the stupidest thing ever, you keep talking.
This is ridiculous.
I'm calling my supervisor.
You're not going to amount to jack squat.
Get off my lawn.
Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf not happy with Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger because the state of Pennsylvania remains in the yellow phase of reopening. Does not include barbershops and hair salons. But then there was yesterday. Big Ben tweets out a video, which I can't see because for some reason Roethlisberger's publicist blocked me on Twitter. Even though I've never tweeted about him. Never. I think that he's blocked every media member possible. So I wouldn't have been able to see the darn thing. But I do know he tweeted out a video of him throwing for the first time a football since the elbow surgery that cost him most of last season. And I know he said that he was growing out this Rip Van Winkle beard until the day that he was able to throw a football properly. So that was yesterday, and then he went to Norman's Cut and Edge to get his hair cut. Clean shaven, nice little hairdo, throwing dimes.
He looks good.
And then the governor says, "Get off my lawn, Big Ben. You couldn't wait another week to get this thing done? Or you couldn't find somebody else to do it for you?" And, oh, by the way, the real issue I have with it is that I got a text earlier. Who was this that cut Ty Richardson's hair?
I think this was Steven. Yeah, Steven. Sent us to us about 1 o'clock. He sent us a message he said, "I just shaved Ty's head, and there is nothing but a ground full of Ty's locks."
Are you sure that that's Ty Richardson and not Harry from Harry and the Hendersons? Or that's not like Bigfoot that's been walking around that got trimmed over there? Goodness gracious, Ty, I know you got a lot of hair. I didn't realize you had that much. Did he shave your knuckles and your legs and your toes? Wow.
It was bushy this morning when he came in here. And I was telling Maddie during the break, I'm surprised we hadn't seen. Normally he's here right about now, so he might walk in and grace us with his newly shaven head. So, did he say he was shaving his head, or was he just? I think he might just be getting a nice, clean cut haircut. I don't think he's going to get as short as me.
If he just got a trim and enough hair to cover Bigfoot fell off of him. That's incredible. Well done, Ty Richardson. Now you can get back on my lawn.
There we go. I was crushed watching The Last Dance last night. I got everything finished up, and I'm crushed to know that the flu game wasn't. Woo! Look at him.
He was pretty handsome.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see it. I can't see him.
Oh, let me try. There you go.
There you go.
Can you see me, Phil?
Now you got to step into SmackDown's phone.
Yeah, come over here by me where the FaceTime is. Look at how good he looks.
Wow. Well done. Do you feel better now? I know it's a lot of people that haven't been able to get their hair cut.
He said, "Do you feel better now?"
He feels better.
You can quit complaining then. So what broke your heart, SmackDown?
Well, it's the fact that the flu game wasn't actually a flu game. It was freaking bad pizza.
Well, I mean, it's like stomach flu-ish. It's not really a stomach flu, right?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I grew up playing basketball, and I was like, yeah, Michael Jordan played with the flu. I could do everything. And then he had food poisoning, so whatever. Anyway.
The stories that they want you to hear are not always the real story. I was reminded of that yesterday. I saw it was the anniversary of Pittsburgh pitcher John Smiley breaking his hand and going into the disabled list. And initially it was written that he broke his hand slamming it in a taxi door. The truth is, and I heard this from the person that wrote the press release, he got into a fight. Come on, you're not supposed to punch somebody with your pitching hand. Don't you remember Bull Durham?
I'll be quick with this one. I've gotten really annoyed when people put on Facebook and Twitter when they just post daily updates of how their day is going. Like, oh, I just done this, and filling up their, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It's like, wow, you got gas.
Yeah.
Cool story.
Cool story. I don't give a crap if you got gas and then you did just fine. But
I tell you, the mute button is the best button in social media.
I'm just thinking about deleting it. I mean, that'd be probably even easier.
See you guys tomorrow for SmackDown and Matty T. I'm Phil. Get up, get out, get better.